Michigan's short track racing authority is Horsepower Happenings.
Charlie Bauer, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Scotty Thiel, welcome to Horsepower Happenings.
John Beach, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Adam Terry, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
Paul Pelletier.
Corbin Hazlett, Riley Knoll.
Matt Kemp, Dylan Stovall, welcome into Horsepower Happenings.
From pavement to dirt, modifieds to sprint cars, hear from drivers, promoters, track owners, and many other industry leaders.
We worked on that car for 12 days straight, and when I got to the speedway Saturday, I was out of gas. I had to take a nap.
You're out there and, you know, that groove, if you're outside of it, you could be a couple tenths off or even half a second off.
It is not the shock that you've won all these races. You know what I mean? There's so many pieces to the puzzle to make these cars go fast.
I don't care what he says. I saw a thing on Facebook on somebody's post that's now been deleted that one of his crew guys said that the spotter told him car low and I wrecked him.
With over 50 years of experience from racing to management, here are Zach Heiser and Rich France.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome into another episode of Horsepower Happenings. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you got power. You're not watching on your cell phone from candlelight, but if you are, well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll have a quick show for you tonight. Partially on account of that, it kind of worked out, but we'll get into that first after this Mark News Minute. Here's what's going on. How about Carson Hocevar? Whoa, man, the entire state of Michigan was just pumped up yesterday and beyond. You really got to see how many fans Carson has made over his young career. We'll dive into that with Rich coming up in just a moment. NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series from Daytona, Corey Day picked up the win, and Andy Jaconiak picked up the win in the ARCA Menard Series. Justin Grant, Jacob Denny took home victories from Kokomo Speedway during the Grand Prix on Saturday and Sunday. Is it the Midget Grand Prix? Well, maybe. Brad Sweet and David Gravel won World of Outlaws features at Knoxville Raceway over the weekend, and Devin Moran and Brandon Shepard grabbed Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series wins as well. Those things and so much more happening here on Horsepower Happenings. Good evening, welcome in. I'm Zach Heiser. Rich France joins me from across the way. What a Sunday night for all of us who have watched Carson come from, 12, 13, 14 years old at Berlin Raceway through, Rich, what we worked with the Jegs Tour, watching him win there, to now a Sunday afternoon winner at Talladega. How about that?
Yeah. I got a brief story from yesterday. So I went golfing with my buddies and we went back to have a few Pepsis at our favorite spot, and we were watching golf, and we sit down and the one guy says, "Oh, Roundy Round's on." I said, "Leave this on for just a minute." Right. and we let it go. And, it got to near the end. And I said, you got to leave it on now. I said, I know that guy that's leading. "Oh, baloney, you don't know who he is. Prove it." All right. So I opened my phone, pictures of me and Carson interviewing him and stuff.
Yep.
Then I had the whole bar cheering for him.
There you go.
The whole place was then cheering for him. Go, go. And then they all said the same thing that I think most of America did after that victory lap. That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. That was wild.
I was watching, I had to watch on my phone, and my wife was kind of watching over my shoulder, and I said, "This kid's a lunatic." And she said, "Well, what's he doing?" I said, "He's hanging out of the car, going probably 25, 30 mile an hour down the front stretch at Talladega. And if that wasn't enough, he got some speed scrubbed off of it beforehand, but then while he's hanging out the car, he nosed it into the front stretch wall and did a burnout at wide open throttle."
It was. I thought at first that his feet were stuck and he couldn't get out of the car.
Right.
And I didn't know he had something like this planned because he just kept reaching down. And then once that car started rolling, I said, "Oh, that's what he was doing. He's got those long legs,
Yep.
And so he probably was trying to figure out, how can I do this and be able to put my foot in the steering wheel and be able to steer it with my foot while I'm pressing the gas."
The thing I thought was the most impressive is I think that all of us in the back of our head went, well, he's for sure, if not getting fined, he's going to get told never to do that again. And I don't know if you saw the post-race presser in the media room at Talladega, where Steve Phelps told him it was the coolest thing he'd ever seen. And they asked him, "Is this banned?" And Steve told him no. And so he was good to go.
Yeah, I heard they were saying it's better to be a rule maker than a rule breaker, right?
Right. So congratulations to Carson, man. It's been so cool to see social media light up over this. And Rich, nobody's surprised, right? Like those of us who've watched him race, nobody's really surprised. It hasn't been a matter of will or if he'll win a Cup Series race. It's been a matter of when, right?
Yeah, I think you had to believe that. I mean, last year was kind of tough for him. He was learning a lot, right? And a lot of the drivers, he had to talk to him after the race. I mean, he's an aggressive driver by nature, and that's not going to change. That's what made him.
Right.
That's what made Carson Hocevar as good as he is. He's not going to change that, but he had to figure out how to blend that. And man, he had every opportunity, just like everybody else did yesterday at Talladega, to destroy their race car.
Yeah.
And being up front, he looked like he belonged there, and he proved it at the end.
By the way, I said Steve Phelps. Steve O'Donnell is who I meant, the new CEO of NASCAR as of Saturday, I think? Friday?
Oh, is it that soon?
It just happened. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. All right. Speaking of cool, Rich, Springport Mid-Michigan Speedway officially has new owners. This is the other reason why it'll be a short show today. We've been working all day trying to get Donnie Ritter on, and like many of us, Rich, Donnie has a real job and just simply could not get out of work in time to be on the program tonight. So we're going to keep working on that so that we can talk to him. But Donnie Ritter, Dave Miller, the new owners of Springport Mid-Michigan Speedway. This was announced on Friday night. It came through. I was at the Mexican restaurant where there may have been some margaritas served, and we may have been taking in some street tacos. And all of a sudden, I get a text. It's official. Springport is sold. And I said, "What?" And sure enough, there it was. So this is cool, and no better name, I don't think, Rich, than Donnie Ritter to be a part of this.
Yeah, and I don't know that you expected it, right? Just because he's involved with Kalamazoo Speedway, and he had to come out and say that this is not going to affect my commitment to Kalamazoo Speedway. So,
no.
I got to believe that that's Springport, if they run it all this year, it'll probably be fairly limited because of the late
just
start.
Michigan Cup, wouldn't you? Just Michigan Cup.
You never know. You never know what he's going to come up with, but you got to figure it's going to be pretty limited. This, almost May, and it gets announced. Not a lot of planning and probably a little bit of work to do.
You said, did you expect this? I think since about let's see, when was the bowling tournament? January. So
March.
I think, it was March. Okay. So since mid-March. Worst kept secret in motorsports, maybe. I mean, I think a lot of people knew that something was in motion. And then, so you started to hear something was in motion at Springport. Then you start to hear, okay, it might be Donnie. And then you start to hear, it really sounds like it's Donnie. And then you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and boom, here's the announcement. A lot of people said on social media when it finally came out, this was such a hard secret to keep. Well, somebody was talking because a lot of people said what a hard secret it was to keep.
Yeah, but I mean, the good side of it, Zach, we get to keep a racetrack, right? We'll see what he does. He'll probably run. I'm imagining he's going to run something like a schedule he ran, before he went to Kalamazoo, something along those lines. You got to believe. But hey, a lot better with a racetrack open than sitting the way it was.
And when he left, when the Ritters left Springport to go to Kalamazoo, we saw how much they meant to Springport on social media, on the story that we had here on Horsepower Happenings. You just saw the outpouring of almost grief that they were leaving Springport and encouragement that they were going to Kalamazoo because the Ritters are so good at what they do.
And I think that's with anybody in our sport, Zach. If you have if you have a place that you like to race, and you enjoy being at the racetrack because of the people that run it, it's easy to go racing every week and you have fun.
Yeah.
But there's also ones that if they go racing there every week and they don't enjoy it with some of the promoters, and they make that known too. But Donnie did not have a problem keeping people happy at Springport while he was there. And I'm sure he'll get them all right back either later this year or next year for sure.
Keep an eye on it. We'll keep you posted. Marknews.org, Horsepower Happenings. And we're going to try to get Donnie on next week as well, is the plan as of our last communication. So congratulations to them. Exciting stuff with Springport back on the map. Okay, Rich, it's time for our weekend results. If you don't mind, can we start down here? And then we'll do the other one. And
you can start wherever you want. I had a busy day today, and I jumped in late to help you. So
yeah, good job. Crystal Motor Speedway in action on Saturday. Well, let's start with this. If you raced on Friday, no, you didn't. Is pretty much what it ended up being across the state. No racing on Friday thanks to rain. But Crystal Motor Speedway on Saturday. IMCA Modifieds, Nathan Patrick gets the win. Pro Stocks, Andrew Bogart. Great Pro Stock race, by the way. IMCA Stock Cars, Jeff Cohn and Bill Wilkins goes back-to-back in the Bomber divisions. Allie, is that Bringer, do you think, Rich? Bringer, you think?
Allie Bringer, yep.
6 to 9 in the mini wedges, Cade Fiddler in the 10 to 14 age groups. And I got to do it. I love when I get a chance to do this, Rich. Zane DeVault, top of the board with a 12.0 whatever. Lap number 2, even faster, brand new track record. 11,
Cool.
11.930. Beats Ryan Turner's 11.948, I think is what it was from last year. So not by much, but close counts. Okay. And what a night for Zane DeVault.
That's pretty cool. He came up for one. I mean, he came up for one purpose and one purpose only, to win him a race, right? I mean, that.
Yeah.
But man, that's so cool. And that is getting around Crystal Motor Speedway, man. I'm telling you.
11. It turns out that's about 113 mile per hour average is what that car average. Okay.
Just a tad fast there. Yeah.
So that's what, a $120, $125 at the end of the straightaway?
Yeah. You got to give it to Brian LeBaron and his crew, man. They had a good fast track ready for him.
Yes, they did. And by the way, that track record set on the new American Racer tire. So didn't lose any speed going to the American Racer. And then that feature, Rich, I don't know, did you get a chance to watch any of our show from Saturday?
I wasn't watching Saturday because I was involved with the pavement race at Berlin. I was watching that.
Oh, okay. What a show. Jared Horseman alongside Clinton Boyles. Yes, you heard me right. Clinton Boyles made the trip for the Ragged Edge Racing number 51. They were on a tear. Okay, Jared was gone. And in lap traffic, he started having some issues. And Clinton and Zane were closing in. Well, all of a sudden, the Ragged Edge Racing 51 leaves the racetrack in turn 3 with an issue. Slows to the top of the racetrack. Caution flag comes out. They get him pushed out of harm's way. He's headed back to his trailer. Field is taking single file formation down the back straightaway, getting ready to come back to 1 to go. Jared Horseman exits the racetrack as your leader in turn 3.
Oh, my. What happened?
Broken motor.
Oh.
Ragged Edge Racing.
That's it. Yeah. There's never a good time to do that, but especially when you're leading.
They do think, though, that, he felt it. Sometimes in the top end, you can feel stuff starting to come apart. And I guess that's what happened. And so he was able to get it shut down and pulled off before it became catastrophic. But that handed things over to Zane DeVault and Dustin Daggett, who were right there. And 11 laps to go. Zane DeVault was not messing around. He put that thing on the lip, dropped the hammer, and checked out. And went on to get his first win of the season. So it was a good show, though.
So as good as Zane was, do you think if Jared would have stayed out there and didn't have the problem, could he have got him?
Man, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, my friend, because you don't know. They were catching Jared in traffic, but Jared had a cluster of about 3 cars in front of him that he was struggling to get around when the 51 car broke. I think it'd have been a really good race. That's all I can say. You just don't know. I think you don't know. Put on a good show.
Once you get the lap cars out of the way, what's the air going to do? Is it going to make Jared's car better, or is it going to make Zane's better? Or worse? You don't know what it's going to do. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I have no idea, but it was a good show, and we're looking forward to Lima and Montpelier on Saturday. So excited for that. All right, you took in Berlin. You tell me what went down.
Yeah. So, pretty much the Austin Hall show, really. You know what? You know how he ended up last year, Zach? He just kind of picked up brand new car, picked up where he left off.
Right.
A little bit of help, but I don't know that he would have needed it. Austin Hall started 10th, worked his way through the field. Brian Campbell was leading. Chris Shannon was kind of running him down. I don't know if it was Chris was getting better or Brian was just getting a little worse at the time while coming off turn 2. They make contact. They both go around. Just handing the lead to Austin Hall, and not that he needed it because that car was fast. That 20 car was fast. If they were having any if they were having any problems at all, he was going to run them down. There was plenty of time left. And then Austin Hall really didn't have a fight the rest of the way. He put it on cruise control, drove away from him. Man, you go battle at Berlin, track championship, open up the season with an icebreaker win. I don't know if it's any better. I don't know if it could be any better on this Monday for Austin Hall.
Well, we're going to find out here in just a few minutes. We'll have him on the show to talk about the season opening win and what in the world has got into that team, because they have been unbelievable here going back to last year and this year. But, Rich, some other people went to Victory Lane on Saturday, too.
Yeah, the limited late models. They went with limited late model Sportsman and 4-cylinders. They all ran double features. Outlaw super late model standout Mike Root picked up his first ever feature win at Berlin. Never won at Berlin ever. He picked up a feature number 1. Josh Fry would take feature number 2. In the Sportsman class, Tim DeVos, both 20-lap features went in his back pocket. So good day by Tim DeVos. And in the 4-cylinders, 15-lap features, Blake Hudema and Dennis Holtzlander III picked up feature wins to wrap up the day.
All right, good job by everybody, and we've got those complete results posted on our website at marknews.org. Russell's M40 Speedway got their regular season kicked off on Saturday night, Rich. I'll tell you who got the wins there in the Montville Stocks. That's close to Cody Geyer and I's hearts, Montville Stocks. Stephen, is it Laffman? What a last name. Stephen Laffman gets the win in the Montville Stock main event. Then you go down to the Factory Fords. It's Michael Sullins who goes to Victory Lane. And let's see here. Road Warriors, Brian Woodall. We're familiar with that name. Brian goes to Victory Lane around the state quite a bit in the front-wheel drive division. Brian Woodall gets the win in the Road Warriors. Extreme Stocks. Here's another one. Matthew Elzey Jr. goes to Victory Lane.
Really?
And it wasn't Kalamazoo, though. It was, this was Russell's M40, okay? Street Stock Division. Here's another one, Rich. Hold on to your pants. Jeff Gannis gets the win in the Street Stocks.
All these surprises on this Monday, Zach.
I know. What's
amazing.
What's going on here? And finally, I think Michiana Monster Outlaws, Jeff Gannis goes to Victory Lane. Vintage Modifieds. That's right. Vintage Modifieds were in effect as well. Brady, I think it's Musser, goes to Victory Lane in the Vintage Modifieds.
Not John Robbins this time.
Not in the field.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Brady Musser, David Sensiba, James Bond, Lou Capozzi, and David Cutler, your top 5. So there you go.
Very cool. Very
Russell's
cool.
M40 Speedway. We expect to have more results next Monday, as a lot of racetracks expected to swing the gates open this weekend if Mother Nature will let them. We'll talk about that more coming up toward the end of the show. Right now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Austin Hull, Holster Racing, Berlin Raceway extraordinaire here over these last 365 days. He's coming up next right here on the Horsepower Happenings podcast.
The Horsepower Happenings podcast is Michigan's short track racing authority. For nearly a decade, Horsepower Happenings has given race fans a chance to hear directly from their favorite drivers, local track owners, and promoters. Horsepower Happenings is the only podcast keeping fans engaged with Michigan area racing for 52 weeks a year. Don't miss the Horsepower Happenings podcast live on Facebook every Monday night at 6:30 and available everywhere you enjoy podcasts. Visit horsepowerhappenings.com and follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube.
It's time to head for the Buckeye State. The Great Lakes Super Sprints, presented by Perfit and ARP, are headed to Lima Land Motorsports Park Friday, May 1st to kick off the Ohio Cat Division season. Max Stambaugh, Jack Nichols, Phil Gressman, Devin Dobie, Kobe Allison are looking to defend their home turf from guys like Dustin Daggett, Greg Dahlman, and Van Gurley Jr. We'll see you Friday, May 1st at Lima Land Motorsports Park with the Great Lakes Super Sprints. Can't make the trip? Catch the action live on GreatLakesSprints.tv.
Think your camper handled the winter just fine? Think again. Every time the temperature fluctuates, drop moisture freezes and expands, turning tiny hairline cracks into major pathways for water. That freeze-thaw cycle is a silent killer for RV seals. If you haven't had a professional roof and exterior sealant inspection this spring, you're likely towing a leak you can't see yet. Midwest Camper Repair specializes in catching that winter damage before it reaches your interior. We're mobile and we check it all from the roof to the floor. Don't let a winter crack ruin your summer fun. Call Midwest Camper Repair today and start the season sealed tight. Call 419-799-1171. That's 419-799-1171. Or visit MidwestCamperRepair.com. Serving the tri-state area from the roof to the floor, Midwest Camper Repair has you covered.
This place completely fills up for the Little 500. People from all over.
Here comes Jake Trader at number 29. How about that? He will be the bridesmaid no more. Bobby Santos is going to pick up the win.
Oh, trouble already.
Wow.
Trouble over at turn 4. 2 to go. Cody Swanson is there.
Here goes Rory. Back-to-back champion Tyler Rourke wins.
I guess tonight I was a sprint car guy.
Zach Heiser, the resident dummy, according to Rich France, back here with you at the Horsepower Happenings podcast as we bring in our featured guest for the night from, not Wayland, Michigan, apparently, because that's how I got told I was the resident dummy. Austin Hall, what's going on, my friend?
Not much, just happy to be here.
Well, man, last year, 2025, it seems weird to say breakout year for Austin Hall because you'd had wins. You know, we've talked extensively on this program about your sportsman wins at Berlin and getting in the template car and having good runs. But that track championship, you know, the 250 last year just really was a statement year for you. And then I think there were maybe some people who wondered, okay, is this the new Austin Hall? Is this sustainable? We'll see. And man, you come right out of the gate on Saturday, just blistering. Talk about how Saturday went and how it felt, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the success has really come from just our team kind of jiving a little bit better over the years, and we've come across a lot of good people in the crew. And Carl's learned a ton, and I've learned a ton, and it's just gotten better and better. And I don't know when it's going to stop or where it's going to stop, but I'm hoping it's no time soon.
Yeah. We talk all the time about when a team is the top team, how long will they stay there because everybody's chasing them? I talk, you know, when I talk to Max Stambaugh, I tell him this all the time. I said, at some point, your run is going to end because people are chasing you and they want to get better than you, and you don't really know what the benchmark is when you're the top team. Are you feeling that change? Are you feeling like Austin Hall and Holster Racing are becoming the top team at Berlin, that now you guys have to make sure you're chasing a benchmark?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely up there. I think there's still more to be had. It was even after our win Saturday, we went right back to the trailer and we were talking about how to make it better for next week. And I think that's the way you stay on top, and that's the way you just keep getting better. And you know, with working with Van Dorn, we just kind of share notes between all the teams, and everyone tries to make each other better and just try to make the whole organization better. But yeah, I definitely think Van Dorn is probably the team to beat out there right now. Seneca's got a good program out there, but you know, it's basically if you're not in one of those two cars, you're chasing them.
And just having you come out of the beginning of the season, brand new car, that doesn't guarantee you're good, right? You could be working on that thing, trying to find it, because it's not the same as the old one. You guys didn't have that problem. That car was every bit, if not better than the old one.
Yeah, we worked a lot on, for probably 3 days worth of testing, we worked a lot on just getting good feel in the car. We knew we had speed at the track, like we could make it have speed. We just needed to get the right feel and get, everything working the way it needed to, especially with the tire change that we went through. And figuring that tire out, I still don't think we have it figured out all the way, but we're getting there, and I think we've got the best grasp on it right now.
Well, tell me about this. You're going to roll off 10th. That's halfway through the field, man. That's a ways to go. And it was a stacked field. First night out, you get everybody showing up. Everybody wants to go racing after being home all winter. What are you looking at from 10th? And you got 75 laps, a lot of patience at the beginning.
Yeah, it was just kind of picking spots, and my car was really good on the top, and for some reason no one wanted to run up there. So it felt like I just got, free grip in the cool asphalt. So we went up to the top and passed, I think, seven cars on the top, and I think one on the bottom, and then Chris and Brian got into each other and spun out, and that was just two free ones. But yeah, I basically just was patient and trying to be as smooth as possible and pick them when I could without trying to burn something up.
Now I told Zach before we went on, I said, he asked me what I thought, and I said, it looked like Brian was getting a little worse, slowing up a little bit, and allowed Chris to catch him. Because because Chris got him from like 5 car lengths back and ran him down, but you were coming in a hurry too. You think you had enough for both of those guys?
Yeah, I think I had enough to race with him. I'm not exactly sure if I had enough to pass him at the time. I was getting pretty tight at the end of the race, but just again, like a balance thing that I don't know if we figured it out quite yet, but I think I could have definitely raced with him. If it goes the right way, I might be able to get around him. But Brian's good there. He's good at making you work for positions, and Chris is good at doing that too. And they both had good speed, so it was going to be tough either way. So when both of them ended up going to the back, I wasn't complaining about it.
Icebreaker 75, kind of an odd intermediate distance at Berlin, right? I mean, it's either dual 35 lappers or the 75 lapper or 100, 200, 250 laps at Berlin. I mean, this is a weird distance. And as you mentioned, new tire, what I want to dive into a little bit deeper in a minute, but what is the mindset? Are you on go from the drop of the green flag at 75 laps, or are you riding at all? What is your strategy?
I mean, I had to ride for a little bit because the tires are a little softer than what we were on the McCreary's last year. Like the McCreary's didn't really wear at all. We were seeing wear on the American racers right away, and so I told myself I should probably wait like 10 to 15 laps to really start rolling into it and just kind of feel it out, see if I lose grip or anything. And even at that, I don't know if it was a balance or if I pushed too hard or what it was, but I ended up burning the right front off of it. And yeah, it was we're gonna learn real quick what you can and can't do with that tire.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So a lot of the old guard are going to say, "I thought American Racer and McCreary were the same," and actually because of that, when I heard the discussions and actually it was the interview that Jacob Rickwalt did on Mark News for us over the weekend, I heard somebody say something about the American Racer tire and it being new and soft and wearing, and I'm like, now wait a minute. Last year everybody said this McCreary did not wear and it was not soft and what? So there's there's differences, right? It is two different things.
Yeah, so the McCreary that we were on last year felt really similar to, I would say almost to like the Sportsman tire that we were on, where it was really hard, just didn't have a lot of grip. It had good straight line drive, but like it didn't have side bite, I guess you could say. And this tire has a lot of side bite, but you sacrifice longevity for grip. So we essentially went back to like a 30-35, 30-45 kind of setup. And now you gotta save a little bit and try to use it when you need to, but not overspend the tire. And I think that's gonna make some good racing later this year.
Is it comparable to what the Hoosiers are like when you run with CRA and things like that?
I would say the Hoosiers were, as far as wear goes, they were more similar to the McCreary. They have a better grip level like the American Racer, but they don't wear like the American Racer. But Berlin is abrasive too, and we haven't really been on a whole lot of abrasive tracks when I was with the CRA stuff. So we were on like new asphalt as far as like Flat Rock and Owasso goes. So tires don't really wear there anyway. But I would say it's a little bit, it's more tire wear than the ST1s and 3s as far as like a Toledo surface kind of goes.
And I'm thinking Austin, it's got to be a little bit harder going from a hard tire that you can just wear out and beat up to go into a soft tire than the other way around, because you kind of have to learn what your limits are.
Yeah, and like I've historically liked a free car, and so when as soon as I got about halfway through that race and I felt the tight coming on, I was like, oh no, here we go. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to get my way to the front as fast as I can here real quick, and so I chopped my way up to third, and then that was when we got that restart that Chris and Brian got turned around and just kind of handed me the lead, and I didn't have to work that hard for it, so I was able to save a little bit.
To be clear, you didn't feel bad about that.
I didn't. I mean, I'm sure
Right.
one of them probably felt bad about it, or both, but free spot is a free spot, and I'll take it.
There was a heavy discussion. Were you close enough to see what happened? Because Matt McKenzie was saying, oh, well, there's a bump there, and it looked like Chris may have hit the bump, and it just shot him up into Brian. Were you able to get an idea what happened back there?
You're going to
coming
make
out of
a
turn two?
fellow competitor call what happened on the track?
I will say, from where I was sitting, it kind of looked similar to like Icebreaker 2024 between me and Brian. It was so like there is a bump in turn two. Brian likes to do like a later arc and then kind of pull down the track to make his straightaway longer. And it kind of sacrifices about half a groove on the top. And Chris probably thought that he was going to go all the way to the top, but when he hit the bump, he kind of hopped up the track a little further. And so it was just kind of one of those deals where they both kind of just came together and it looked like it was just kind of a racing deal. I'm sure both of them feel different ways, but you know, that from what I saw, that's just kind of what it looked like.
Good analysis from a guy who has also wrecked Brian Campbell off of turn two, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. This is a good spot to say thank you to our sponsor for tonight's interview. Brought to you by 1-5 Apparel Company, owned by racers for racers. 1-5 Apparel Company understands that every aspect of your team is budgeted down to the last dollar. So take that dollar farther with exclusively branded hats, shirts, canopies, mugs, and so much more. Built for teams, businesses, schools, and other organizations, from workwear to fan gear, bring your ideas to life at 1-5 Apparel Company. Gear up, go fast, save big. Call 260-557-5025. That's 260-557-5025. And find 1-5 Apparel Company on Facebook. Great win, great start to the season. Now what? Right? I mean, and that's Jacob puts this question in the chat as well. Do you have eyes on defending? Are you going back on the road this year? What's the plan?
We're planning on going back on the road for quite a few of the races. It's not going to be a full-time schedule with CRA, but it'll be a lot of them. And then we're going to try to defend the title at Berlin. The goal is to just try to win them all, you know, like
Yeah.
try to stink the show up. But obviously it's a lot hard, a lot easier said than done. So seen a lot of guys get a lot of wins over the years. You know, Evan's done it, Brian's done it. We just gotta keep it clean, keep learning, and keep getting better.
How do you feel about getting back to the Money in the Bank and the Battle at Berlin? I mean, new tire, does that even you back up with some other people, but you've already got the win out of the gate? Like, what's your mindset looking ahead to those shows?
We still have to go into it with the mindset that we have, you know, something to prove, and we got to be better than what we're expecting to be. We can't get complacent in our position, and just make sure we're ready to get there and work and try to be better than everyone else there.
And I gotta believe Austin for 20 grand. Man, a Master of the Pros 200 in a green jacket would look probably pretty good hanging in that race shop, right?
Yeah. I've wanted to get a win there pretty bad. I just I've been caught up in a few unfortunate incidents in the last few races.
Well, you're not the only one. That's a lot of everybody else. But you know, if we can get everybody, I think we've had as the season went on last year, it got better and better. You know, everybody was anxious at the beginning. You saw what happened at Flat Rock and the first race at Owasso. But I thought last year as the CRA season went on, it got better.
Yeah, it did get better. It was I think it was for a little bit of it. I think it was people were like they almost forgot how to kind of race each other with respect for a minute, and then it started getting a little bit better. There's still outliers, obviously, but yeah, it got better toward the end of the year. I think if we just kind of keep our nose clean at that track, you're going to get a good finish. It's just as simple as that. I mean, just stay out of everything, and you'll end up somewhere near the front.
What is if you had to pick one thing that you think has changed since spring of last year that has led to you being so good, is there something you can pinpoint?
I think I legitimately think it's just all of the learning that Carl and I have done over the years. And you know, obviously in 23 I was okay in a late model. 24 I got a little bit better. And then it was like during the off season of 24, we kind of sat down and we talked about it. And we were like, we really need to like commit or figure this out another way, because we were just kind of racing, you know, we wanted to just race. And now it's more of a science where we go in and we go, okay, this is what we want to see out of the car. This is, every travel in each corner, and we want to see this, we want to see that. This is what I want to feel. This is, the pace that we're looking for. And everything has been a little more calculated. And then we've brought on a few guys that have made my job easier because, before I was helping do tires and I was helping, clean the car, nut and bolt the car, do all the adjustments and stuff like that. And we've got three guys at Berlin that pretty much just do all that stuff for me. So it's able to keep my mind clear and focused on just driving it and trying to win.
So the news from last May doesn't have anything to do about it because it sure seems since we found out and since he's been born that man you've been off the rails since May. That's where I was going.
Well, I mean, that did help. Everyone says that, when you get married or you have a kid that you lose 2/10 or whatever, and so I keep telling everyone, I go, well, just imagine if I didn't have either of those, like, but no, it's
Oh
part of
man,
it.
Kayla's on her way to this room right now, guaranteed.
But legitimately, like I told Carl because he said that to me and he's like it's gonna change a lot of things and I go I'm gonna tell you what, I do not want my kid growing up thinking my dad was a has-been.
Well, what was that like? I mean, sorry, Rich, I don't mean to cut you off, but we kind of got there. Last year, obviously, Kayla's pregnant throughout the season, and so that's one thing. But now having a kid at the racetrack, having him with you in victory lane, what is that? What was that like for you on Saturday? I know, he's so young that can't bask in it, but for you as a dad.
Yeah, it was cool. I kind of got a little choked up in victory lane because there was literally nothing more that I wanted than for his first trip to the track to be, us winning and showing like that. And it just like him being there just keeps me, it's calming because he's so innocent and he's just happy all the time. He's a good kid, but it's been nice. It kind of keeps my mind clear, and I'm not worrying about anything. I'm just thinking about having a good time at the track and making the best of it.
Good for you, Dad. That's cool.
And Zach kind of stole a little bit of my thunder with that question because I was going to say, we hung out at the track a lot last year with CRA, and that is the first time I've ever seen that look on your face with that boy in your arms in victory lane. That had, like Zach said, that had to have been a really special moment for you, Austin.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was like I said, I got a little choked up in victory lane, and I've got a bunch of pictures from it, and yeah, it's nothing's gonna top that. I mean, unless we can do more, but that first moment like that is pretty special.
I imagine when he's old enough to, Dad, we did it, and jump on the roof with you and stuff like that. I mean, just so geeked for those moments, right? I mean, that's going to be really cool. You got to do something this offseason. Kayla putting this in the chat is a good reminder. You got to celebrate your championship with that with the NASCAR sanction for Berlin. You get invited down to the big banquet. What was that like?
Yeah, that was really cool. We got to go see the Hall of Fame and kind of walk around down there and check that out. Then they had the big banquet for us and everything, and that was really cool getting to meet a lot of the other people from the other states that had won championships and national championships, state championships, all of that stuff, and they were just, I mean, great hosts for something like that. It was really fun to have like a red carpet kind of vibe for everything and actually get, dressed up for it. I had never been to anything where I had to wear a suit, so it was.
Were you able to cut loose a little bit, or I mean, was it prim and proper, or how was it? What was it like?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like doing that. Like as far as like getting dressed up and being like professional and tidy, and everything. I just I work as a mechanic most of the time, so I don't get very many chances to do it. But
I can
it was
appreciate
fun.
it too. Like I like banquet season. You know what I mean? Like the wife gets a dress out, and I get the suit jacket that doesn't fit right, and
Oh yeah.
and you go and you celebrate and you have a good time.
Yeah. We walked the red carpet, had a few drinks, and got some pictures, and then we went and sat down, and they brought us back behind the stage, and Tyler Lupton and I were back there and got both of our trophies and everything on there. Went up on stage, and it was just cool seeing how many people were there to celebrate that, and how many different, obviously there was people from other countries that were there because they have, NASCAR North American divisions, and that was just cool.
So we talked, pick up the championship, battle at Berlin, which was huge. What are your goals now? I mean, when you win those races, you come out of win the icebreaker right out of the gate. Are your goals elevated, or is Carl kind of keeping you on a level head, saying we're starting all over again?
I mean, my goals always go higher. I always want to see improvement. My goal ever since I started racing is just be better than last year. And we've continued to climb in this, and at this point there's no telling where it's going to go, but I'm hoping to get a CRA win. That'd be nice. And then hoping to get the 150 and the 250 maybe in the same year. Try to be that guy, but
what does that mean? What do you mean try to be that guy?
I just want to win. That's all it is. It's a good feeling.
I don't know if he could do much better, Zach, if he got a 150, a 200, and a 250. I'd have to hang up the helmet after those three.
Well, and so you mentioned the CRA win. CRA back on Berlin's schedule in September. So, is that the opportunity?
I'm hoping it's going to come before that. I'm hoping we're going to be. I'm hoping we're going to be somewhere. I'm really excited to run IRP.
That place is cool. Have you ever been there?
Just, I have never been there. I've seen it. I raced on it, and I've seen all the history of it, and I've watched races there, but like I've never been to the facility, and it's just one of those places where it's just got so much history in the sport, and it's definitely a bucket list track. I mean, it's something you have to run.
It is an unbelievable facility, first of all, and then second of all, the show it puts on is amazing. And Dan Redman, who is helping with that show on July 11th, texted me the other day, and he said, "Do you have a race on July 11th?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, I do not anymore. So I'm hoping to get out there to be a part of that one, because that last Super Series race that I was there for, which again, it was a supercar, but I think these pro cars are going to race just as well. That thing was unbelievable. It was such a good show."
Yeah, there's something about seeing all the cars used to ripping the fence that just looks like a good time. It looks like you're either wrecking or you're going fast.
Carl put in the chat, is it time to look for a replacement crew chief, or is the driver better than the crew chief?
No, definitely not. We're not gonna get any better without having Carl there. So I can help with giving him some aid, and as far as what I think we could do, but that's about it. He's the guy that's got all the numbers, does all the math, and has it all figured out.
So what are we looking at, man? We're coming into May. It's supposed to be warmer. Anybody wants to get out there and see you? What's on your schedule?
Right now we are planning on hitting Owasso for the 200, and then obviously we're running Berlin, but aside from that and a few more CRA shows, and
no dirt modified. What? No dirt modified? Come on!
I'm terrible on that thing. All right, like I'm just not good in it. For some reason I love.
Do you know how you get better? Do you know how you get better?
I got to keep driving it.
What was that? I mean, we talked about that a little bit last year, a couple spot starts. How did that come to be, and is that something that could happen again?
Oh, my buddy Justin bought one a couple years ago with the help of his brother, and we just kind of messed around with it at Palo, and I think we went to 96 at one point, and that Carl actually got in the car there. And I lost a couple cylinders on the motor, and still started kind of creeping up on him, but that it's fun, but I am not good enough for that kind of stuff. Just can't figure out how to get the grip in the car, and I just love smashing throttle pedals, and that's not good for those apparently.
Well, man, great job on Saturday afternoon, man. Well deserved. We're still going to give you a chance, even though you did it on TV, to give a shout out to all those people that made it possible for you.
Yeah, I got to thank my sponsors, Town and Country Carpets, Product 41, QuickTime Automotive, Wenger's Bowl. Downtown Trinity's Margarita Joe's, Angela's Italian Restaurant, Embrace Chiropractic, and then I got to thank my crew guys, Austin, Chandler, and Nate. They made my life so easy. It's insane. I know it's a position that goes very unnoticed a lot of times, but without guys that are helping you out, you're scrambling and doing a lot of other stuff, and you don't perform as well on the racetrack. And so they help make me look good, and I just want to give them some recognition, and got to thank my parents for putting me in a car.
Yeah, that's big, man. Noah, our producer, just dropped in our communication that we have on the back end. He's a big iRacer, and you mentioned iRacing with IRP. How does that give you a level of confidence? Like, are there notes that you'll take from running, the Super or the Pro around that place on the rig that you'll be able to apply on July 11th?
The cars on iRacing don't really feel the same as like the cars in real life. They're close, but there's quite a few differences in them as far as like power goes and just how they drive. But I mean, it'll give me an idea as far as like line goes and pace and how
Can
to
you
pass.
even take the lift
something
points, like lift points and acceleration points? Are those accurate?
A little bit. The only track, so I haven't really run a track on there that I've run in real life. So, obviously I've run Berlin, Owasso, Flat Rock, Toledo, Bertrand, all those tracks, but none of those are on iRacing right now, which I'm hoping to see some of those on iRacing soon. But yeah, so I can't really tell you if they're the same or not, but I from everything I've gathered from just racing on there, they feel like you can race like you do in real life. The only difference is obviously how some of the cars feel versus others.
Okay. Will Carl be taking your iRacing setups down there?
Oh, we might have to do some sim laps on the night before.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Good job. Congratulations too on the new family, right? Like this is cool. You and Kayla have been together for a long time, but now having the little one around, that's very cool, man. Congrats on that too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to wrap things up. Short show tonight, so we'll take a break and come back and put a bow on this one. You're watching and listening to the Horsepower Happenings podcast. It's time to head for the Buckeye State. The Great Lakes Super Sprints, presented by Perfit and ARP, are headed to Limaland Motorsports Park Friday, May 1st to kick off the Ohio Cat Division season. Max Stambaugh, Jack Nichols, Phil Gressman, Devin Doby, Kobe Allison are looking to defend their home turf from guys like Dustin Daggett, Greg Dolman, and Van Gurley Jr. We'll see you Friday, May 1st at Limaland Motorsports Park with the Great Lakes Super Sprints. Can't make the trip? Catch the action live on GreatLakesSprints.tv.
Mark News is back. Michigan Area Racing Connection News keeps fans in the tri-state area up to date on national headlines, local results, regional news, and so much more. Home of the Horsepower Happenings podcast, 500 Sprintcast, Gridline Social, Job Bank, Fastlane Images, KG Media, and so much more. MarkNews.org is the one stop for any race fan who needs to know what's going on in the Michigan area. Plus, get the Mark News weekly newsletter sent right to your inbox, FREE free. Sign up today and learn more at marknews.org. Marknews.org, the Michigan Area Racing Connection.
KG Media is your home for all things photography, race day social media, and more. Cody Geyer brings more than a decade of experience working with the top brands in short track racing. From individual photos to full race days, social media to PR, KG Media can make your race team, race track, or touring series stand out. For more information, go to marknews.org or visit KG Media on Facebook.
The 4th Annual Bob Finley Memorial is Saturday, May 9th at Owasso Speedway, featuring outlaw super late models racing for over $20,000 to win. Plus, each lap leader gets a bonus. Open wheel modifieds, trucks, and mini wedges are also in action. And race fans, it's autograph night. Get a chance to meet and get an autograph from the region's best drivers. Advanced tickets to the 4th Annual Bob Finley Memorial are now on sale at OwassoSpeedway.com. The 4th Annual Bob Finley Memorial, Saturday, May 9th at Owasso Speedway.
The Horsepower Happenings podcast is Michigan's short track racing authority. For nearly a decade, Horsepower Happenings has given race fans a chance to hear directly from their favorite drivers, local track owners, and promoters. Horsepower Happenings is the only podcast keeping fans engaged with Michigan area racing for 52 weeks a year. Don't miss the Horsepower Happenings podcast live on Facebook every Monday night at 6:30 and available everywhere you enjoy podcasts. Visit horsepowerhappenings.com and follow on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube.
Welcome back to Horsepower Happenings. And Zach, you teased it earlier in the show. A big schedule on for this weekend. A lot more racetracks. We should have a lot more winners this weekend. Looks like the weather's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, hopefully things hold. I know for what we've got planned with the sprints down in Ohio, it's a little nerve-wracking right now. But hopefully things go this weekend because I think pretty much everyone in the state, maybe except for Merritt and anything north of there, and maybe Winston. I think everybody else is planning on swinging the gates open this weekend, Rich.
And let me qualify that. By nice, I mean nothing coming out of the sky.
Gotcha.
It might be a tad cool, but it's just the beginning of May. So
visit
it's
the
going to happen,
souvenir
right?
tents, visit the driver merch tents, get yourself a new sweatshirt. Perfect excuse. I'll let you tee it up, Rich, because you're going to be potentially busy on Friday night.
I won't be busy this Friday night, but
got the polo on. Come on.
I know, but that's because it's race number 1 for the Michigan Auto Racing fan club night. They're going to kick things off for the 2026 season at Birch Run Speedway. Like I said, Marfac night, free admission with your 2026 membership card. Modified street stocks, pure stocks, front wheel drives, and front wheel drive figure 8 are on the docket. Gates open at 5, Zach, racing at 7:30.
And then down the street at I-96 Speedway, it's Veterans Night. So this is very cool. Active duty and veterans, Rich, so you could get in for free with your valid ID at I-96 Speedway this coming Friday night. The dirt car UMP late models, IMCA modified street stocks, compacts, and mini wedges, all in action Friday at I-96. Gates at 5, hot laps at 7:15. First official green flag of the night set to wave at 8 p.m. from I-96.
And then we'll head up to Auburn, Tri-City Motor Speedway's opener, late models, B-mods, pro stocks, street stocks, bombers, and mini wedges as well. Gates 5:30 up at Tri-City, racing at the famous time of 7:55.
That's right. Not a minute later, not a minute sooner. 7:55. Owasso Speedway, Saturday night, we'll get things going. It's open wheel invasion night. This will be a cool show. Outlaw 350 stand-up super modifieds in action, plus the regular Michigan modifieds that you're used to. I say it's not part of the Michigan modified series, but just to clarify what they are, that's the regular modifieds that you're used to seeing. And pure stocks all in action, gates at 4, racing at 6 p.m. from Owasso Speedway. Then, Rich, how about you do yours and I'll do mine?
Okay, I get to go to work for real this weekend. Flat Rock Speedway opening night, presented by Max and Karen Scott. Outlaw Super Late Models, Street Stocks, Figure 8. Afternoon show the first 2 weeks in May, so you don't have to sit out there and get cool. It'll be daylight when you leave. Qualifying at 3 o'clock at Flat Rock. A special 4 p.m. start for the first 2 events, like I said, of 2026.
King of the Jinx. King of the Jinx. That's all I'm going to say. When somebody oils down the racetrack and you're sitting there in a delay,
it doesn't get dark till 8:30 now. It doesn't get dark till 8:30 now.
Whoa. What you said on Monday. The sun will still be up when you're leaving Flat Rock.
All right, I got this.
All right. Great Lakes Lightning Sprints in action Saturday. Silver Bullet Speedway. This will be their opener. They got washed away last weekend, so this will be their opener at Silver Bullet Speedway up in Owendale with the Great Lakes Lightning Sprints. IMCA Modifieds, Pro Late Model, Street Stocks, Road Warriors, Mini Wedges, the whole gamut. Gates at 5:30, racing at 7 p.m. from Silver Bullet. And then shameless plug, Rich, Great Lakes Super Sprints set to be back in action this weekend. Friday night at Lima Land Motorsports Park. Saturday night, wing versus non-wing, as the rescheduled date for Montpelier Motor Speedway for the Great Lakes Super Sprints falls on the Great Lakes Traditional Sprint Show. So it'll be wing and non-wing at Montpelier on Saturday night. So looking forward.
Yeah, we still need to try to get. I think we still need to try to work on drying some of these properties out. Man, a lot of water the last couple of weeks, and it has nowhere to go. Last week was all right. It was mid 70s most of the week, and I think a lot of it dried out. Then got a little bit of rain and back in the cool again. But we'll get it ironed out and get this season going.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Want to mention real quick, Power Rankings will be coming out on Wednesday in the Mark News weekly newsletter. So if you're not subscribed or signed up for that yet, go to marknews.org, click on free newsletter for finding more information on how to get those and so much more inside that newsletter. So that's going to do it for our show tonight. Quick show again, hoping next week we can get it worked out to have Donnie Ritter on the program, and could be a loaded show too if everybody gets to race over the weekend as well. So want to say thank you to Noah Longyear, our producer, Rich France, co-host. Thanks to Austin Hull for being on the program tonight. I'm Zach Heiser, and we'll talk to you same time, same place next week right here on Horsepower Happenings.
You've been listening to Horsepower Happenings. The views and opinions expressed in tonight's show may not directly reflect that of Horsepower Happenings. The contents of this program may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated without the express written consent of Horsepower Happenings. Follow Horsepower Happenings on Facebook, Instagram, X, and all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, and Pandora, to keep up on what's happening.